What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Hella Handmade Creations video. This week I have a nasty cold, so I did not feel like putting a face on for you all, so I do apologize about that. I'm hoping in the coming days I will get some more real face action for you all. In the meantime, the show must go on, and HHC is opening up tonight for pre-order. If you're new to the channel, new to indie nail polish, HHC is a monthly collaboration with dozens of makers, and each maker gets to choose their own theme for several months or up to, even seen a year. So I'm going to quit yammering. Let's keep this intro short and sweet, and let's dive right into the swatches. We're going to kick this off with Bee's Knees Lacquer. This is Fiduciary Responsibility, described as a mustardy olive with silver to peach shimmer. This is part of their Fallout series. Price is $13 and there is no cap. This is a really interesting, I'm just going to flat out call it a prugly shade, meaning a pretty ugly type color if you're new to indies. It's usually mustards, browns, things like that. I think this is fabulous though, and I typically don't like colors like that. This has a very strong foil and chrome effect to it that I think is really, truly unique. I don't think I've seen a color like this. I'm going to suggest 2 coats and a glossy top coat. By Dany Vianna brings us Love Me. This is her Valentine's set. This will come with a bag, so please don't get too freaked out by the price of this one. It is $26 with a cap of $50. If you go on HHC's site, I will show you during the recap of the video, you'll see the bag that comes with this. This is described as a wine base with red to black shimmer and red magnetic pigment. So we have it's pretty standard type of feel and how it builds up. It's pretty light overall. And when you leave it unmagnetized, it is this lovely wine type of color. And when you magnetize it, of course, you'll get this kind of matchy-match vibe with the backdrop and the magnetic pigment, but you can see a lot of movement. I'm going to suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. Chloris to Carol brings us a Valentine's duo. You can only grab the duo as a set. This first one is Love at First Swipe, described as a reddish pink base with red shimmer and silvery pink magnetic effect. So we have a very lush, juicy type of formula going on here. I thought 2 coats was perfect. If you don't want to wear it magnetized, I think it looks really cool. It's going to take on this almost somewhat chromy, silvery looking effect against this nice berry base. Again, when you magnetize it, you'll have a matchy-match type vibe going on, but it's pretty obvious in person when you see that silvery pull with it. 2 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. And the other part of the duo is Secret Admirer. This is a white curly base with aurora shimmer, fuchsia and pink metallic shreds, and pink stars. This one has a really interesting type of super smooth, milky type formula to it. I chose to stop at 2 coats, and then I overworked the hell out of that second coat. That way I can remove any possible white base from any of the glitters or shreds, and you'll see them more prominently on the nail, if that makes sense. You will absolutely need a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat. I love the super fun glitters and the shreds going on here, but it will leave you really textured. So again, make sure you're using a glitter smoother. Anything past 2 coats with this is overkill. Cracked Polish has Follow Me Please. This is a bright turquoise packed with green and blue shimmer and micro hollow glitters. This one is part of her Down the Rabbit Hole series. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 200 bottles. So we have an ultra opaque type formula. This is such a flattering, beautiful color. Medium to deep skin tones. This is going to pull incredible on you. At least I thought so on myself. I think 2 coats and a glossy top coat is all you need. Cracked is also bringing us a Valentine's polish this month. We have Mad Love. This is an oxblood red base with fiery red to purple shifting micro shreds and soft pink magnetic stripe. This one's $13 with a cap of 200 bottles too. Mad Love is also very opaque in how it applies on the nail. I'm going to suggest 2 coats, and when you go in to magnetize it, I will just say to add maybe 10 more seconds to your magnetizing process, whether you do it layer by layer or whether you use the magic magnetic top coat like myself. Regardless, it's a bit of a heavier type of pigment. I did use a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat to even this one out as it was thirsty and textured. Cuticula has Glade of Trust. This is an olive green jelly base with a background of green to blue shifting glass flakes, small orange to gold shifting glass flakes, and pink to purple shifting glass flakes. This one's 13 with no cap. This one is part of her Dreamlight Valley series. I have to say that Cuticula is really owning these mosaic, super flaky fill type finishes lately. They're so lovely. This one gives me like swampy type of vibes. It's very lovely, and it's in such a way that it's all in the color family that I would kind of put together with like greens and limes and light greens. And of course we got that copper going through it. But anyways, all that to say, I really enjoyed how this one kind of came together when you build it to opacity. I think 3 light coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. It is a touch thirsty, but it wasn't so much so that I needed to smooth anything out. Emily DeMolly has Lorquini. If I said that incorrectly, I do apologize. I'm going to blame Dayquil. This is a deep navy blue base with blue iridescent flakes. Price is $13, and there's a cap of 240 bottles, and this is a continuation of her Butterflies and Moths series. This is another one that kind of knocked my socks off. It is so very opaque and rich and smooth and just wonderful in how it builds up. Even though it starts off as a jelly, it is so very opaque. I think 2 coats and a glossy top coat is best. Anything after 2 coats is completely unnecessary. It will dry down very flat though. Femme Fatale has Maiden. This is a bright blue toned turquoise jelly packed with large particle glass flake shimmer that goes from copper to gold to green, depending on the angle of light. This one's 14 with a cap of 250 bottles and part of their Romanticism Through the Arts series. Maiden is a true jelly formula, meaning it's going to be pretty different whether you stop at 2 coats or 3 coats. With that said, I am very bold in how I like to wear my nails, so I will always, most of the time, take things up to 3 coats, especially jellies. So I think 3 coats is best. If you don't mind a softer finish, I think 2 coats would work too. This does have a touch of thirstiness to it, but I thought my glossy top coat was perfect. If you have a prominent free edge or natural nail line, what have you, you might want to use a blurring base coat, as I think this one is bordering on being sheer. Gin and Berries, I Am in Control, is a blurple jelly base with strong green, teal, blue, purple shifting shimmer and holographic microflakes. This one's $13.50 with a cap of 400 bottles. Part of her The Expanse series. We have a very jelly-like formula here. It is super easy to build up to opacity. I thought 2 coats and a glossy top coat was perfect. This is so very flattering and ridiculously glowy in person. Night Owl Lacquer Tone It Down Old Man is a gray crelly base filled with multi-chrome flakes that shift purple, red, copper, gold. This one's $12.40 with no cap and part of her Bob's Burgers series. Speaking of me always going up to 3 coats, there are some exceptions to that, and sometimes I do kick myself for being that extra. This is one of those times when I did kick myself for going up to 3 coats. I'm going to recommend 2 coats, 2 normal coats to build this up. The backdrop is a charcoal type of gray. It's not going to be super bold like what I was thinking I could get it to. It's perfect at 2 coats, so don't be like me. And it does have a tiny bit of thirstiness, but again, I didn't see any need to use a glitter smoothing top coat. My normal glossy top coat was perfect. Pampered Polishes Deja-Boo is a murky green linear holographic base with a bronzy shimmer that shifts to a matte finish. This one's $13 with no cap. This is part of her Halloween series. Deja-Boo has a jelly-like formula, in my opinion. It starts off quite a bit on the lighter side, so I chose to take it up to 3 coats for maximum opacity and just overall bringing out that base color. Personally, I'm going to recommend that across the board, 3 coats and a top coat of your choice. This will dry down naturally matte, like what you're seeing on my full hand shot here. And then for funsies, I wanted to show you all what it would look like with a glossy top coat. If you did want to wear it matte, you could probably just get away with using a matte top coat of your choice. I will always recommend a top coat regardless because it extends the wear of your polish. Paradox Polish has Water Off a Duck's Back. This is an aubergine base with ice blue, gold, copper, red, iridescent flakes, and scattered holographic effect. Price is $13.50 and there's a cap of 300 bottles, part of her RuPaul's Drag Race series. Water Off a Duck's Back is a jelly formula. Again, this is another one that started off on the lighter side, and I built it up at 3 coats. You could probably get away with 2 normal coats depending on the width or, lack of wide load nails like yours truly. But regardless, 2 normal or 3 thin coats and a good glossy top coat. This magnetizes pretty subtle in person, but you can definitely see that purple shift against the black. Penelope Luz has 2 duos for us this month. This first one is her normal duo, her Goddesses of Mythology duo. We are doing Persephone this month, and Persephone is a dark, deep grape base with purple shimmer. Price individually on this is $13, and there's a cap of $200. If you choose to get the Goddesses of Mythology duo, the duo itself is $24 with a cap of $200. You'll see all that on the website. So this one has a true multi-chrome type feel and how it builds up. It's kind of light, and I personally like to wear multi-chromes, pretty heavy and thicker appearance on my nails. I think it just makes them look better, in my opinion. So 3 light coats was wonderful. This is very glowy and vampy and deep. I dominantly saw that nice deep navy and purple kind of bouncing off each other. And at angles, you'll see that really pretty, like almost reddish type cast. And then the companion to the duo is Underworld Goddess. This one's described as an orange to gold magnetic with purple micro flakes. Now, I chose to show this over Persephone because, of course, it's a duo, but as you'll see in the Willet Topper segment, it looks really cool over black as well, so it's a true topper, but over Persephone, it looks ridiculous. Whether you magnetize it or not, you'll get this beautiful red cast, and then if you magnetize it like what you see here, it just pops so well. It is truly just very, very shifty. And the magnetic pigment, as you see on my photos here, it looks like it's got that large particle type shift to it. And it absolutely looks like that in real life too. Penelope's second duo is her Valentine's duo. You can only grab these 2 in a set. This first one is True Love. This is a silver magnetic base with dark purple shimmer and holographic flecks. When you don't magnetize this one, it looks really cool. I really have to say, I've said it before and I'll say it again recently, I think the makers are really knocking it out of the park with the magnetics lately. A lot of them look really cool unmagnetized. This will give you a lavender type chrome. And then when you magnetize it, as you see here, it's ridiculous. It's bold and has a lot of movement to it. Because it dries down very metallic, you'll want to make sure to use a good glossy top coat. The second part of the duo is Cupid's Kiss. This one's described as a green to purple sparkle shimmer and holographic purple glitter. Now, I chose to show this one on its own as opposed to putting it over True Love. I thought True Love was so bold in how it appeared that I didn't think I was going to be able to do it justice and actually show the polish itself in photos. So we're seeing it by itself here. It is a true topper, though I do think it looks cool by itself. And as you'll see in the Willet Topper segment, it will look fantastic over pretty much any base. It's just very glowy and shimmery. Sassy Sauce brings us Plot Twist. This is a silver, flaky, hollow, reflective topper, which will be opaque in 2 to 3 coats. Per Carrie's notes, she said she made this beauty to pair with all the fancy dresses coming up for the holidays. Price is $13, there's a cap of $300, and this is part of her shoes series. This is stunning. It is my top pick of this entire video. And I know I'm usually pretty glitter and holographic biased, but this is so ridiculously sparkly in person. I do agree, Carrie, hands down to you. You really kick some serious ass with this. This is going to be a fantastic polish to wear to, holiday parties and things like that. It is very sparkly. There's not really any texture with it. I was kind of surprised with that. So I didn't need to use a glitter smoothing top coat. It's thirsty, but a standard glossy is perfect. And we've got a Valentine's duo from Sassy as well. These 2 are only available as a duo themselves. So this first one is Risqué, and it's described as a deep red with a dusting of holographic pigment. So we have a jelly formula here. At least it felt like a jelly to me. I would suggest between 2 to 3 coats. And I kind of waffled on this one, whether or not I was going to do that 3rd coat. And I'm glad I did, because I think like a true jelly formula, it absolutely deepened out that base color. So your preference on how you want to wear it. But personally, I liked that plump gel-like appearance of that 3rd coat with a glossy top coat. It dried down semi-flat, so any top coat's perfect. And then the second part of the Valentine's duo is Talk Flirty to Me. This is a lightly tinted purple base with a strong pinky red golden shimmer and contrasting flakes. So the duo together with both polishes is 26, and there's a cap of 200 for the sets. Talk Flirty to Me is, I don't know, I feel like I personally would describe this as being a hybrid type of polish. And you'll see it here in just a moment in the topper segment that I think it can topper pretty damn well. But when you wear it by itself, it's this soft, I want to say, flirting a little bit with being a sheer. I think you'll see your smile line in super bright lights, but in dull lighting situations, it'll be pretty opaque. But it's just overall very glowy. And what's building up to full opacity is the shimmer itself. The flakes do give you a touch of texture, so use a glossy top coat. And Zombie Claw brings us Octi. This is a periwinkle base loaded with different types of blue to purple flakes. This one's $13.50 with a cap of 100 bottles, part of her Powerpuff Girls series. Octi has a very heavy type of formula to it, like super heavy. I'm going to suggest going in, you're almost going to be like dry brushing those flakes on the nail. I think 2 coats was perfect for opacity. I was very pleasantly surprised with that. And you'll need a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat because this is going to leave you quite textured and really thirsty. And you're going to get that gorgeous mosaic-like effect in your final look. And we're going to wrap this up with the wallet topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. BKL toppers really well. I was very pleasantly surprised with that. It looks really cool. It's very earthy. The Valentine's Dany Vianna is vampy, but I don't think it's light enough to pop really well over dark colors. Colorista Carol Love at first swipe looks pretty cool over black. It's super vampy, almost like an anti-Valentine's polish. Secret Admirer, I don't recommend it, even over white. It's too milky and crelly-like. Crack Follow Me Please is just, I don't know, it's stunning. I really blew my socks off. It's very, very pretty in a foily type way. Don't topper that one. It just doesn't do it justice. Mad Love is too deep and vampy. I don't think you're going to see much as a topper. Glade of Trust, I think matchy match in black colors will work really well. Emily DeMolly, I think you can do it over black, but it's just too opaque, or rather too pigmented otherwise. Maiden, you could do mermaid colors. Jen and Berries, I think works really well over super dark or matchy match. Night Owl is too milky. I personally wouldn't recommend it. And Deja-Boo, I don't know. Over an undie, I think it took on almost a cream-like application. So I personally didn't care for it. The Paradox, I think, works really well over black if you wanted to make it more opaque, I guess. Not really sure why you would do that, though. And the 2 duos from Penelope Luz, I think, have quite a bit of versatility if you wanted to get a little creative with them. Please note the Mythology duo is a touch too pigmented in terms of like using it with super, super light colors like pastels or something. But the Valentine's duo, I think you can get a little creative with it, especially on Cupid's Kiss. The Sassy Sauce Plot Twist, if you dry brushed it, you would get more of a scattered effect, but it is a beautifully dense topper otherwise. And Sassy Sauce's Valentine's set also works really well over black and probably deep dark colors. I think these would look really cool over probably magentas and burgundies too. And then of course the Zombie Claw also works very well as a true super dense topper. The site is going to go live for shopping starting tonight, I should say, and it's going to run until December 21st at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian time. I will link you out below to Hella Handmade Creations website, in addition to the Facebook group if you want to see additional swatches, other polishes, all that good stuff. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I hope you're all doing well. You'll have some more spam from me this week. Thank you so much for watching.